was born and raised in Fort Chipewyan, Alberta. I'm of the Chipewyan tribe. And at a very young age of 7.5 years old, I caught tuberculosis. And in the classroom, I was coughing up blood on my desk. The nuns decided to send me to Edmonton. We caught a little aircraft, a small bush plane, and the morning after, I was accompanied to the railroad station. And they used to call the train the Muskeg Express because a lot of that track was built on muskeg. I arrived in Edmonton, and a grey nun, I'm assuming she was from the Charles Camsell Indian Hospital. She met me there and took me to the hospital. And about 2 days later, I got surgery, and they removed the upper lobe of my right lung. And after the surgery, I was walking around visiting, and like a young lad that I was, curious about life and everything else. They took it upon themselves, the staff, I don't know who or what, that they should take my pajama bottoms off to prevent me from walking around and going to visiting and everything else. I still used to go running around bare butt and visiting. And one day they came and they said, we're going to put some casts on you. They didn't tell me why or what for. They put a cast just below my knee to just above my ankle on both legs. And they put a bar across about 6 inches apart that prevented me from walking. And that's what I was put in this little room, approximately 10 by 10. There was no window. There's the end of the hallway. I was just like a prisoner, no word of a lie, just the way I was treated. And in order for me to go to the toilet, I had to go hop in such a manner like a penguin to go to the bathroom. And on a few occasions, there was an orderly, and he'd get me into the bathroom, and he sodomized me. I didn't have any schooling there at all. I had no visitors whatsoever in the 2.5 years I was there. Loneliness come upon me many, many different times. And one day out of the blue, they said, we're sending you home. One of the biggest joys in my life is leaving that hospital and going home. In this whole life that I experienced, you will not see any tears in my eyes, for I quit crying a long, long time ago. It comes a point where now, in my lifetime, I'm compelled to tell my story. My name is Sonny James McDonald, and I want the world out there to know exactly what happened.